My brother took me to a bar years ago, and this was short. This isn't too long. It might have been a year or two after
Good Will Hunting.
It's Good Will Hunting, or maybe early Born. It was.
No, it was before that.
It was before Born.
It was late. It was in the 90s still.
Okay, it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm in town. We're both.
Wasn't it like Christmas night or something?
It was Christmas night, and my brother said, "Hey, we could hang out with this is my brother Luke. We could hang out with our parents, or we could blow this place and go." All they did was, create us. We could go to this really cool bar I know called the B-Side, and the B-Side Lounge. And I said, yeah, screw the elderly. And so we go over there, and I walk into this very cool establishment. And just like a really cool place to hang bar. And you're sitting there. And
because Ben and I had the exact same conversation. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And exactly. You guys were escaping. And so I just see you sitting there. And I go over, and you couldn't have been nicer. We're chatting. I think we had briefly met before, but not really talked. And within minutes, you and I are talking about Flannery O'Connor. That's what I remember. And I remember thinking, I don't know that there are many movie stars that would start talking to me about Flannery O'Connor. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was I was like, this guy is...
There are a lot of people who read books, though.
No, there aren't. There aren't. I test a lot of movie stars. Most of them can't read. I
can't read at all.
Yeah. Tom Hanks cannot read.
He can type, but he can't read.
He can type, but it's like a monkey at a typewriter. Yeah. And also, so many huge stars can't. Liam Neeson can't tell time. And I'll ask him, "Hey, Liam, what time is it?" And he shows me his watch and says, "What do you think?" Unbelievable.
But you're
anyway,
scared to answer because of the way he said it. Yeah.
You have a certain set of skills, but not telling time.
You don't have all the skills.
You're lacking.
By the way, Ben and I were extras in a movie called The Good Mother that Liam Neeson was the star of in the 80s. And we were still in high school, and I think it still exists in the movie. They were shooting in Harvard Square, and we went and we were extras, and we walked by Liam Neeson. Wow. Like an adolescent or teenage, Ben and Matt walked by a very young Liam.
Yeah.
That was as close as I ever got to him, but yeah, I'm a big fan.
He is a lovely man too. There's what you just said reminds me that you guys, were good friends long before you became famous, and you were working together and kind of on a mission to make it in this business. And you had I've read before that you had a bank account together.
A Baybanks account. You remember Baybanks?
Of course I do. Yeah.
We had a shared Baybanks account that we would put money in that we had made professionally. So if we got any part, like that extra work, for instance, you get, $50 or $100, depending. If it was a union job, you get 100. And that money would go into our shared account. And that account we could only use for auditions in New York, where, we take the bus or back there, they the Pan Am shuttle or whatever, or the train. Get down to New York, walk in, which, took however long, 5 hours to get down there. You walk into the place somewhere in Midtown, and, in 3 minutes, they're like, "Okay, thanks." Which is, we used to call it getting "okay, thanks," because you go there and beat your chest and pull your hair out and sob, and they go, "Okay, thanks." Yeah. and you're done. And then you go all the way back to Boston. But we had this account, and we could use the money for that, or we could use the money for video games at 1001, which was the arcade on Mass Ave.
Yep.
Or, when we got older, if we could find anyone to buy us beer. So those were the three uses for the account. But the account,
you were a very responsible young man.
But talk about like intentionality. The code to the account was River P, because River Phoenix was an actor that we really admired. He was our age, and he was getting the kind of parts that we wanted to play.
Yeah.
And so that was our secret code to get into our shared bank account.
I don't know about you, but I think about a lot, and I have wistfully about early experiences before anybody knows who I am. And, I'm headed to something to audition, and someone says, "Well, you should have makeup because it might be a camera test." So I went to a drugstore and purchased makeup at a counter. And the woman said, "Well, what is it you're trying to do?" And I said, "They said I need makeup." And then sitting in this is out here in LA, sitting in my 1977 beat up Isuzu Opal, and putting it on myself with a rear view mirror and then going in and being terrible.
But she told you lipstick and blush.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, that Kabuki guy was awful.
Did you see Divine?
You look like Marlon Brando in the island of Dr. Moreau. What is up with that kid?
Yeah. It was a taco commercial. Why?
Yeah, why was he doing that?
Why was he? But I think about those things all the time, and it's funny, I have an affection for that whippersnapper. And I don't know if you and Ben must have so many memories of being an extra. Yeah. And they're telling you, chew more slowly or whatever. Yeah. You have no lines.
Get the fuck away from the craft service.
Yeah, get away.
That's not extras. It's like, it's can be demeaning work. But we were interested in it and we loved being on sets, and it was like, we were thrilled to be there. And yeah, I mean, it was a lot of, the starting out in the business is, I think my nephew's an actor. It's different now in the sense that they're allowed to put themselves on tape now. Like, we never really, sometimes you'd go in and get put on tape, but we didn't have control over, it was a different, auditioning was like, you had to go, show up at the appointed time, you walked into the room and you had one shot at it. And that was it. And now, the younger actors are allowed to kind of, or all actors are allowed to video themselves and work on it until
they can curate it,
they can
get it just right,
get it to, and say, this is the best representation of me for this part, which is a very different thing. And there's a lot of humiliation in the starting out, as you know, like those things.
I find I'm continually humiliated now.
Well, there's a lot of humiliation in general. It's a very vulnerable thing to do.
I discovered early on I was being humiliated, and then I kind of liked it, and then I turned it into a career.
When I did The Rainmaker with Coppola like 30 years ago, he did this amazing thing every morning. When a new actor would come, he would go down to the base camp where everybody gets ready in the morning, and in the parking lot, like right in the where all the kind of trailers are, he would gather all of the actors and he would play theater games, right? Like sound ball, for instance. And sound ball is this game you play in kind of acting school where I throw a ball to you and I have to make a noise like bloop or whatever. And when you and it's an invisible ball, obviously. It's not a real ball. It's that.
A space
and you have
ball,
to it's an air ball. And you catch it and you have to make my sound bloop, and then you have to make a new sound bleep, and you throw it to someone else. And it is the dumbest thing in the world. But Francis would do this with all I'm talking like Mickey Rourke. I'm talking about hardcore, like very serious people.
I'm picturing the cast of The Godfather now.
No, it was
James Caan.
It was I know, but it was John Voight. It was like these wonderful actors, right? And the idea was, and Francis would do it, and he would start, and he was this iconic.
Yeah, of course.
The Godfathers, the Apocalypse Now. I mean, the conversation on and on and on. All of these brilliant movies. And the whole point was to kind of level set everybody at, this is a place where you can be completely foolish and vulnerable. Yeah. And I'm going to do it too. Right. And because that's a part of it. It's like, you really got to put yourself out there if you're doing it right. And so there are the requisite amount of humiliations that accompany that, even as you get successful. Like, if you're doing a tough scene, you might have to break a lot of eggs to get the omelet. You know what I mean? And you have to do that in front of everybody.